Hey guys, this is Jote Saint, along with my sidekick, Frankensleeve. Coming at you with another quick fact, frequently asked question. And this frequently asked question is weight loss surgery the easy way out? And my first response to that is, really, who cares? But having said that, I really have to tell you where I'm coming from all my background. I grew up as a fat kid. Even in elementary school, I was chubby, had to wear Sears husky-sized jeans. So I've had years and years and years to build up a what I what I what I would like to think is my thick skin. But still, even after 40 plus years of building up this wall of thick skin to resist taunts and insults, and it still bothers me a bit whenever someone questions whether or not I could have done this without the surgery. So as much as I like to think I don't care what other people think, it still does bother me a bit. But the points I would like to touch on is, what does it really matter what other people think? Why is there such a stigma attached to weight loss surgery and not attached to taking diet pills or hypnosis for weight loss or starving yourself or exercising to excess to try to lose weight? So I'm not really sure why we have this societal stigma when it comes to weight loss surgery and people thinking, oh, it's just the easy way out. So getting back to my first point, so what if it is the easy way out? Let's just set aside the whole idea that all the stuff you have to go through to prove that you qualify for weight loss surgery, all the testing, the sleep studies, the medical test where you go into the hospital for x-rays and putting the scope down your throat to see if there's any problems with your throat or stomach lining. Forget about the medically supervised diets and all the appointments, all the paperwork, all the money you spend on it. Let's pretend like those are no effort to get through with whatsoever. So if weight loss surgery is the easy way out, what's the big deal? Why do people seem to care so much whether or not you or me or anybody else has had weight loss surgery? So I guess you have to look at their motivations. Why would somebody care whether or not you've had weight loss surgery? Is it because they are afraid that you're going to be successful when they weren't? Are they afraid you're going to leave them behind? Or are they concerned that weight loss surgery might have potential complications, or you could even die from having the surgery? After all, this is major surgery. This is not like going into a doctor's office and it gives you a shot and you're back on the street the next day. This is a permanent change. It is major surgery. You go under anesthesia. You're putting your life at risk. Even though the mortality rates are super, super low, there's still, the chance that something could go wrong. But this whole thing about weight loss surgery being the easy way out, I don't know. It's really strange to me that people would want to keep you from reclaiming your life after being imprisoned in a what I call my fat suit. Fortunately, nobody that I consider important in my life told me no or don't do it. There's really only three: my dad, my mom, and my best friend. And I was really hesitant to tell my dad and mom. I didn't know how they were going to react, but it was really surprising. The first things they said was, "That might be the best thing for you, son." It's like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. I knew my best friend would support me no matter what I did, because he could see my life deteriorating and getting worse every year. So for those people that always claim that weight loss surgery is the easy way out, or they make some comment to me about that, my only response is, this is what I had to do. This is what I needed in my life to take control of it again. I'd been on multiple diets over the years, and for months I could stay on them and lose the weight and stay true to the diet. But as soon as I allowed myself to slowly slip back into the old eating habits, the weight would come back on. And who knows why? I mean, it wasn't a matter of willpower, because I'd proven to myself and to other people that I could stay on a diet fairly long term. But there's just something in my makeup that food affects me in a different way than a normal person. I try to put it in terms of different breeds of dogs. It may sound kind of strange, but that's the easiest way I can think about it. There are different breeds of people. There are people who can't gain weight no matter how much they eat. There are normal sized people who maintain a normal sized body weight no matter what they eat. There are people who have to work a little bit at it to maintain a normal body size. They don't have to really work hard at it, but they do have to watch what they eat. And there are people who can eat sugary, carbohydrate-based foods and they just balloon up. I don't know whether it's because of the processed foods, whether because we're, as a society, eating more carbohydrate-based foods, grains, whatever it is, whatever the thing is. There are just so many factors that go into a person's makeup that you just have to experiment on yourself and figure out what's going on if you have the time and energy to do it. But getting back to the different breeds of dogs, you don't blame a bulldog for not looking like a Chihuahua. You look at the bulldog and say, oh, that's what a bulldog's supposed to look like. They're supposed to be overweight and wrinkly. And you look at a Chihuahua, and unless the owners just overfeed them like my mom does, and they become a little walking meatloaf, Chihuahuas are usually pretty thin dogs. And look at Greyhounds. The Greyhound dogs, they are thin, lean, lanky dogs, no matter what they eat. My dad has this hound, and she's a little bit overweight, but she constantly eats. But she doesn't get huge and completely obese, and she doesn't lack energy. She's running around the yard chasing squirrels. So it's just that's the only way I can compare it to people. We have different breeds of people. Our genetics are different from person to person. So is weight loss surgery the easy way out? Once again, I say, why does it matter if it's the easy way out? You don't tell somebody who has glaucoma to rub some dirt on it and get back out there. You don't tell somebody who has a broken leg not to have it set and healed. They don't say, hey, get out there, just walk it off, dude. If you just had a little bit more willpower, you could walk on that broken leg. Just do it, man. I can do it. So, and unless you've heard the voices and cravings in your head 24/7, just constantly nagging you like a little kid pulling on your arm for a piece of candy, it just wears you down. There's a lot of belief that people start out with a certain amount of willpower each day. They're like a gas tank full of willpower. And you make decisions and it uses up your willpower. You deal with the stress of life and willpower goes down. You start making critical decisions and your willpower goes down. So people who have really stressful lives, like CEOs and VIPs, you see them making stupid mistakes. Why would that person do something that stupid? Why would they cheat on their beautiful wife with the maid? And it's because you used up your willpower for the day, and you just want a little bit of relief. You want something nice or something good in your life, and when a temptation comes along, you give into it. You just don't have the willpower to hold out. And that's the way it is for people who have food addictions. You deal with the stress of everyday life, and something extra stressful comes along, or you have to make a critical decision, and you're fighting with your spouse, or your kids are constantly wanting something new, something different. You're running around going 90 miles an hour like a chicken with your head cut off, and at a certain point you just want something to give you a little bit of pleasure. And food does that for a lot of people. It gives them a little bit of pleasure. Unfortunately, the bad part is usually it's not something that's good for you. It's something sugary, something high in carbohydrates like pasta or some dessert, and of course it will causes a vicious cycle where your blood sugar will spike. You'll feel really good for a while, then you come crashing back down, and then you get hungry all over again. So for me, was weight loss surgery the easy way out? Yeah, it was. Compared to the way I was living, weight loss surgery was the easy way out for me because I couldn't overcome the challenges in my head and in my life that would let me take control of my eating and stay in control of my eating. So maybe I have a bulldog body by genetic predisposition as opposed to a greyhound body by predisposition. So even though it was the easy way out for me, it was still a lot of work. I still had to go through all the paperwork. I had to contact the insurance company. I had to find my nearest surgeon, which was a 2-hour one-way drive. So each time I visited my surgeon, it was a 4-hour round trip for me, plus the time I spent sitting in his office, and the mental challenges of deciding, was this, was I willing to go through with this, because I'd never really had anything permanent like this done to me ever. I've always had a backup plan. I can back out of it. I can work around it. And I knew that once I committed to surgery, it was a lifestyle change forever. There's no getting my old stomach back. So if I didn't like it, I was stuck with it. If I had complications, I was stuck with them. If something went wrong during surgery and I was stuck on a feeding tube for the rest of my life, I had to mentally prepare for the fact that that could happen, or I could even die on the table. So weight loss surgery was the tool that I needed to take control of my life again. And even now, I catch myself looking at overweight people at the restaurants when they're walking past me with their plates filled high with food, and I look at them, and I hate to say it, but I actually look at them and go, man, look at that fat slob. And then I have to pull out my inner pimp and slap myself and say, hey dude, if you hadn't had the surgery, you would still be as big as you were. Don't criticize them because they don't have the opportunity to have weight loss surgery. They can't afford weight loss surgery, or they're afraid to have weight loss surgery. Or maybe they're happy the way they are. I really try hard not to judge, because I was there, I was miserable, and it took me hitting rock bottom and feeling like my life was bottoming out and was just getting worse before I would actually commit to surgery. And I went through a hell of a lot of pain after the surgery as well. For that first 8 or 9 days, I was going through the what the hell did I do to myself phase. I was hurting bad. But it got better. It gets better day by day. And by day of 9 or 10, I was back up and moving around and just slightly uncomfortable. So for those who ask the question, is surgery the easy way out? It was for me. It was the only way out for me. When I hear those thin people or normal sized people comment about weight loss surgery being the easy way out, I really just have to, I think to myself, you just don't know what it's like to have constant food cravings and knowing that you're completely out of control no matter how hard you try. Even though you may have short-term success controlling your food cravings, the long term you wind up giving in because you just run out of willpower. So is weight loss surgery the easy way out? Who cares? Why does it matter? And why should I have to do it the hard way? Why should you have to do it the hard way? Are you measuring your success by how much crap you had to go through? Do you measure your success by how much you have to suffer? So when I happen across those people who make the comment about weight loss surgery just being the easy way out for fat slobs, I just mentally shrug my shoulders and just keep on going. There's no way to change their opinion. They have to go through it themselves. They have to suffer through the food cravings and walk a mile in my shoes before they realized how much I was suffering with the excess weight and my own frustrations of not being able to lose it the natural way, the way all the exercise gurus and weight loss gurus tell you that you should be able to lose weight. So this is Joe Saint and Frankensleeve signing out from VSG Land. And keep pimping that sleeve.